So number one is your website. I just want to go through what you should do to review your website and websites. So why am I talking about websites number one? The reality is this is the first place that people will typically find you online now. Even if it's word of mouth, and we all know that word of mouth always has been and always will be the way that people hear about you. What do people do as soon as they hear about a new service, any service? Yeah, Google it. They look at your website. So the reality is, think of this as a wheel, okay? And this is the marketing wheel, the wheel for your practice. If the hub of your wheel is broken, if your website is not converting, if it doesn't reflect who you are, there is really very little point in spending time, money and effort on any other piece of marketing. This is your number one priority. So it's the first point of contact. 8 to 10 seconds. Remember on the video, the goldfish has got 8 seconds and people now got 6 seconds. Maybe I'm being generous. Maybe they're going to be on your website for 6 seconds. So you really need to make sure that your website reflects you, your practice, what makes you different. So thinking about your website, actually think about the goals. What do you want people to do when they're on your website? What do you want them to know about you? What do you want to tell them? Pretty fundamental questions, but surprising how many practices just build a website because they need a website and not actually thinking about what they're trying to achieve. Navigation needs to be easy to navigate because the reality is that people don't spend their evenings digging through dental websites as a pastime, apart from me. Okay, so you've got to make it easy to navigate and you've got to structure the content in such a way that it's easy to scan, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. Images, again, I'll talk more about that. So easy to navigate. Quite simply, you need to have clear menus. And this is a website that we've done recently for practice. Calls to action. What do you want people to find out? Pretty simple. Surprising how many practices have so much information that you can't find where you're wanting to go to. Lead capturing. So again, you want people to come to your website, but wouldn't it be nice to actually work out who these people are before they click away? So something many of our practices are doing are having these little pop-ups that are activated, promoting a little special offer so you can capture the details of the people visiting your website. Again, it's quite simple, quite obvious, because you want to capture those leads. You want to be able to market to the people. One of the misconceptions that people have is, I'm so often asked, I don't want a lot of content on my website. I hate those websites that have lots of content. Come on, I know you must be in here. Okay? The reality is, it's not about you. It's about Google, okay? Google needs content. Because at the end of the day, we all want a website, we all want it to be found on Google, right? Okay? Google loves content. So we have to give Google what Google wants. And this is unique content. So don't have one page on cosmetic dentistry, have one page on teeth whitening. Have one page on implants. Veneers, okay? Because only then, if somebody in your suburb is Googling implants, do you have a chance of being found. So content is critical because Google loves content. Who here is aware that all of this content that I've just told you that you need, people actually don't read apart from Google? Yeah. Are you aware, think about your behavior on websites. Only 28% of the words on your website are read by people. Because what people do when they come to a website is they scan. Yeah, somebody's there because they want to find something from you. They want to find out a piece of information, true? So you need to structure the content in such a way that it's easy to scan. Because you want people who've come to your website to find the information that they're there to find. So as an example on how to structure or not structure your content, who here has got a beautiful bio page that looks just like this? Come on. Who here wants to read this person's bio page tonight? Okay, nobody. We want to scan. So very simply, no, it's not hard. This is how you structure content so you can scan it. Okay? Headings. Breaks it up so people can scan. Bullet points. The eye goes down. Bold. Information that you want people to read. Nice image. Beautiful quote. Call to action. So there is a science, but it's not complicated science of how to make your content structured in such a way that people can access it. Images are critical. So a picture is worth 1,000 words. And Katie and I were lucky enough to be at a seminar last week where, this amazing guy from the advertising industry was there who does the advertising for Weet-Bix and all the big name brands. And he said that the easiest way to make your business look different is by images. Okay, the easiest way. Because you're all different. True? Your teams are all different. Your practice looks different. You need to look different. Because stock images, remember the lady with the apple or the happy family? Yeah. Those stock images, I know you've got them on your websites. Your patients, your potential patients have seen so many images, so many stock images that they're actually blind, that they don't even see them anymore. They cannot differentiate between your stock image and your competition stock image. They've got no way of knowing anything about you, of feeling anything about your practice. And what you want from people visiting your website is for them to have a feeling about your practice, true? You want them to feel, wow, they look nice, they look friendly, they look happy, that looks like really high-end, slick practice, Whatever it is that you want your practice to represent, you want people to feel that too. True? Easiest way is images. People are buying from people, not brands anymore. People, people, people. You're buying, or you're selling dentistry, the most personal of services. Your people are delivering it. So I'll show you a few examples of websites we've done using photography. So hopefully this demonstrates how your practice can look different. So again, it's pretty strong. These are photos of the team. It has a feeling. It will appeal to some people, not to others. And that's what you want. Because your practice isn't for everybody, right? Another one, more of a corporate feel. Practice down in Melbourne. Again, strong branding, images, team. Little different play on the apples. But it gives you a feeling of the practice, true? And this is an example of where I grew up in the UK, of why stock images need to be thought about. So here we have the lovely lady with her apple again. Okay? Anybody get any feeling here? What about these ones? I love these ones. Who here thinks that this is the dental team of this practice? You're all laughing. Yeah? If your practice website has got similar, okay, images, your patients, your potential patients are also going to know that that's not your team. Support staff, not them, okay? So I understand that not all practices can afford professional photography, but I beg you to think about the images that you are using and see if they actually reflect your practice. So a couple of examples from people in the audience, thank you. This practice here has got images, which is good. But I'm guessing that the real life practice looks much better than this. So these, I'm guessing, have been done themselves. If you could get professional images, if you could make your practice look the best it can on that day, with children, you know, looking friendly and happy, you know, you're going to get a different feeling. Another example, stock images. Again, I would question, is this your target market? Does this reflect the people in your suburb? I'm guessing no. But this is the interesting one. I found on this website that there are pictures of the practice. So you've already had professional photography taken. That should be front and center. You should be displaying your practice. Even better if you can have teams. Okay? So it's just thinking outside the box and questioning what you're using, the images you're using, and whether they reflect the practice. Is that clear? Okay. Does this look familiar? It's crazy, you know? Who here has ever seen anybody on public transport that's not looking at their phone? Do you kind of go, wow, they're looking at a book. That's cool. Yeah? So imagine you're on this train, or your patients are on this train, and they're looking for a dentist. 2 websites. Audience participation, guys. Who here is going to phone website number 1, dentist number 1? Who here? Dentist number 2. Okay? It's not hard. Your website needs to work on all devices now. All right? All devices. It's not just your patients that care about this. It's our friend Google. So I don't know whether you're aware that you are penalised. Okay? Penalised if your practice website is not mobile friendly. So I strongly recommend, and the link is in the slides, that you test if your website is responsive, if it's mobile friendly. And our 2 brave volunteers, I ran it through the mobile test from Google, and we got a yes. Well done. Another yes. Now just learning for you both. Again, they're both responsive, but this one is not structured as well. Can you see the difference? So again, you might pass the Google mobile test, but just have a look and analyse and think, okay, is that going to work for my patients? Is there something I can do just to restructure this? So, take a critical look at your website. You know, think about the goals, look at those images, look at your content, see whether it needs to be restructured, whether you need to add more content. Make sure that you do the mobile friendly test and seek a professional. Make sure that you're getting the right images, that you're getting the right content, the back end set up properly. So the tools, you'll obviously get a copy of this. There's the link to the mobile friendly test.